tough climb, dog. Like that. Cause the sad thing is, though, he done got hit twice. He got hit twice with 2 hits in like one summer. Like, and the crazy thing is, because like that, let's be clear, that like that Jones is still ridiculous. And then, yeah, that not like us, that's gonna be a hard climb, though. You gotta come back with slappers, or you gotta just take a crazy break. And the only thing I don't like is I don't like how people kind of already counting him out, like he waved the white flag, because whatever that little story he posted in his Insta story, I don't think he waved the white flag. I just think he felt like, all right, I'm gonna come back with some summer vibes. I'm not about to just dedicate my whole.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up your whole.
I'm not gonna dedicate my whole catalog to sitting here keep just putting out generic diss songs where he probably gonna find a clever way to do it. But yeah, I ain't gonna. Them two are heaters to come behind. Like, I don't necessarily know how you get ready to get it. I don't know how you bounce back. He going to bounce back, but I don't know how. That's gonna be the most impressive thing. Like, how do you bounce back? Because it's almost just like a losing season if this was a sports team or something. Like, all right, how do you come back? Cool, whatever the case may be. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that dude, what's his name? Tommy, what is it? Tommy Richman? Yeah, Tommy Richmond.
$1 million baby.
Oh my God, dog. Oh, no, you got to understand how big of a song that is. The fact that you got to think about it, because I don't know who this dude is, don't know what he looked like, or nothing. Came
out of nowhere too.
But listen to that's what my point of what I'm saying is, it came out of nowhere. But you got to think about how to
in the midst of that whole.
So he still got the number 2 song in the country, or it's number 2 on Billboard. So for him, that's let you like that is a certified hit, because of course.
Did it come out when Euphoria? Was that when it?
I don't know. I don't know when it came out.
It was in between. It was in between. I think both of those. I think whatever the discs were. I think it was like in between. It just popped in there. So I want to say it was like Euphoria when it first came to light.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know when it came out, but dog, that song is a hit record. I don't even know who this dude is. If he got another song, I didn't even go check to see whatever songs he had. But I'm not gonna lie to you, that is an absolute smash. He got.
Is that an R&B or a pop song?
I don't know what you counted. I didn't even go look. I just went to the song, added it to my gym playlist. I don't know what it is. I ain't gonna look and see what charts it was under. And real quick, while we just talking about just unnecessary stuff, real quick, shout out to Taylor Swift, because I ain't gonna lie, that little Billboard chart cape that she had was OD, because that for that week that she had literally all the jumps, I think 1 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's a super flex. And that's one of them jumps where people kind of course, I understand she's not in our conversation on general. People don't never really want to have a conversation about how crazy, dog, her catalog is, and how many Billboard charts she be throwing up, and how many crazy numbers she throw. But anyway, while we here, I do want to ask you a question. Who you think had the worst? And we ain't got to answer the question right now, but I wonder who had the worst diss song this week. Was it Shaq or was it King Combs? Because both of them jokes, they both could have
even had the King Combs shit.
Both of them was trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. Both of them was. I was just trying to figure out which one was worse, because both of. Oh my God!
But I wouldn't take Shaq, because we don't take Shaq serious as a rapper.
We don't take King Combs serious as a rapper neither. What's the difference?
Because I mean, if Shaq doing it is more of a joking way. It's not like, are you rapping? You know what I'm saying? But this is your career. King Combs, you ain't got nothing else. But this is your career.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what your career is. There's a lot of people who rap, and that don't mean that people take them serious. That's not my problem. That ain't nobody else's problem. That's his problem. That's a him problem. That ain't got nothing to do with us. People don't take him serious as a rapper. And after that song, nobody gonna take him serious as a rapper. That song was absolutely garbage. Like, that's his worst song he has ever put out. I didn't at least try to listen to a couple of his songs, and that absolutely is the worst song I've ever heard from him ever in life. Like, I was like, dog.
So you think Shaq was worse than his?
They running neck and neck. Like, I can't sit here and say which one was. That's why I say we got to answer it right now. But that was just something I wanted to put out there to the listeners. Like, which one was worse? Both of them jumps was absolutely horrible. That Shaq jump is absolutely horrible. That King Combs jump is absolutely horrible. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. For him to try to pick a troll with 50 Cent was just like,
that's the worst thing you could have did.
Like, why would you do? He kind of left Diddy alone. Like, he haven't been paying Diddy no attention for a couple months. For a couple weeks, he left it alone. Especially while the Kendrick and Drake situation was going back and forth. He kind of left it alone and just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna let you do you. I ain't worried about you. But then for you to sit here and be like, let me shoot at 52. Like, are you dumb? Like, there's no way you couldn't have ran that past your dad. There's no way. Then you sit here like you kind of almost you putting yourself
like you
in
Big Meech, like you Lil Meech type.
I ain't saying I don't know what you mean by that, but
no, because how he was saying like, oh, we got the traffic, like we trafficking cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to praise on like we beat, they ran up in the house like
Yeah,
it was a flex type of, you know what I'm saying? Like the way he sounded, like it was kind of like he was flexing, like, oh yeah, they think it was like we selling crack in here.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if that was a flex. That was if that he thought that was a flex, that was the dumbest flex he ever tried in his life, because that one's just not gonna work in your favor, dog. I'm sorry, because it's still an open case. That literally just happened a month ago. Just because people on social media stop talking about it, that don't necessarily mean the FBI forgot about you. Like, that's not how it worked, dog. I promise you they ain't forget about you. So for you to sit here and try to play around, and especially trying to play around, and you know for a fact there are 2 rappers on trial right now and they are using their lyrics, bro, and your lyrics are doo-doo, and it's clear as day people can hit. Oh my god, like that kid is an idiot. Like that was the, and then for you to sit here and say nobody better than have, we don't play them games, don't say no, bro, you weigh like 120 pounds. What are you gonna do to somebody? One of these grown men who feel like one day sitting here I'm trying to get some clickbait up off you, and you don't got enough security or house, you ain't got the right people around you. I promise you, somebody gonna tell you no Diddy. I promise you. And the way you try to jump out there is not gonna go back in your favor. Unless you got some hands like Javante Davis, I don't see that working out for you in the way you think it's gonna work out for you.
So let me ask you a question, right? Just saying, I like off of lyrics, or just I'm picking on your lyrics and what you said. Would you be more mad like for getting picked up off of a song like this, or getting picked up off a song like Lifestyle with Young Thugs? Like, that was a smash hit. So, like, I ain't tripping, I made money off, but there's some shit like this where you put this out in the air and I get picked up off of this. Would you be more pissed off at that?
I mean, I don't think they're gonna pick him up because one of the songs is just trash. I don't think nobody even gonna take. I don't even think the police will take him serious. Like, it's just garbage. Like, bro, that song was just garbage. Like, it was just dumb. It just, to me, it was just in poor taste, and it just kind of show people that you're not using your common sense when it just come to just thinking out loud. Like, it was just a dumb idea. I don't necessarily know who told you that was cool or it was worth doing it. It wasn't. I'm sorry. It was trash. You definitely should have left 50 Cent alone, because now he gonna be on your neck. Especially why he got a 2-3 week span before one of his shows come back out. Oh, you're crazy as hell, though. He gonna drag.
So what do you think about Meek?
What you mean?
Just stayed out of it.
Yeah, Meek should have stayed out of it because nobody said nothing to him. It was just like, why you again? But that's sometimes now to make you think with all this
allegations going on.
No, not all the allegations. It just make you think that everything with hip hop is just like you are seeking for attention. Like you I want to put my name in it. Like Meek didn't have to jump in there for King.
So then I can ask. I mean, just a question. If we just looking like this right now is the trendy thing, like, everybody, this whole beef or going back and forth with one another, because like we don't have verses going on no more. Like that was kind of driving up a lot of people's strings when you did the verses. So it's just like, all right, we kind of find a new way to try to dream about. Like,
no, because people of a certain age not even gonna listen to it. They're gonna just think it's corny. I'm not gonna pay no attention. It's not gonna do nothing for you. One, the young kids not gonna know what y'all talking about or care what you're talking about, because they got the people that they listening to, and then the older people like, bro, it's just corny, because we gonna see through it, and then we gonna start all putting our tinfoil hats on. Like, oh, is this realistically? Is this something, or is this just
numbers?
Nah, you not even. What numbers you gonna drive up? What are you driving? What's the numbers you gonna drive? You didn't even put out a song. You just tweeted something. What's the numbers you gonna drive up? Your Twitter account?
That's why I was just asking why he even put his, because like I said, nobody said Meek. So
yeah, I don't know why he put his 2 cents in it. I wouldn't have recommend for him to put his 2 cents in it, but
and it's been quiet for him too.
And that will be why most people will be like, that's why you put your 2 cents in it, because it's been quiet. You ain't had no attention. You put out that little EP. It came and it went. People really ain't been talking about it or thinking about it. So all right, here we go. Now what you gonna do?
Damn Meek.
He gonna have to figure it out. And while we talking about it, shout outs to Future, because Future got me. I'm not gonna lie, Future definitely got me as well, because I thought Future was gonna drop a new mixtape. Because to be honest, I think Future didn't. And I've said this before, I don't think Future completely thought out how this Drake situation was gonna play out for him, because like that, them 2 albums came and went. Yeah, of course, Like That is still on the charts, but realistically, that album still had came and went, because it's not no real, like, what was the stay power? That's one song, but it was just like, no, this is a Future project. Like, you put out 2 projects. Normally for Future, like, it's songs that people using in their on their reels and their TikToks. It's like, it's none of that. It was Like That, and then that was it. Like, there's no other songs off that, John. I think, and some people, of course, I think even the NBA picked it up, or ESPN. One of them was using the Everyday. I'm Hustling Joint. Yeah, they picked that John up. So, but outside of that, it's kind of like, I've told y'all the rip. I was disappointed in the projects anyway. Like, they was just cool, but I think just now, even when he teased that he was going to drop a project, it seemed like he was dissing Gunna. It was like, oh yeah, my mixtape gonna be better than your album, whatever case may be. He was promoting it the whole time. It only just ended up becoming a single. Him and T Grizzly. The name of the song is called "Swear to God." The song is fire. Listen to him. That's the Future. That pocket that he was in on that song is the Future that I'm looking for. But then realistically, it was still just like, damn, dog, you could, and the reason, and look how you had people geeking for a mixtape, and that to me kind of speaks volumes on how people really didn't care about the two albums. Because realistically, if somebody put out two albums and then you sit here and say, "Oh, coming right back with a mixtape," and people were kind of fiending for the mixtape, to me, it seemed kind of like you should be able to take it and read the room, like how bad or just okay people actually felt about the projects.
But I just feel like that's just nowadays society, like how we just you for a week or two, then after that we on to the next. Because when you think about all the projects that's been putting out and how, all right, it might have had a little buzz for that whole week, then it's like, all right, what next? Travis Scott, all, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't last but so long. Yes, you're gonna have a couple of songs here and there that you still got on your playlist or you still might hear, but it's like for a continuous, like a listen, like, oh damn, I need to go back and listen to it. Because even with, like I said, for the SZA, that whole Snooze song, like that song is still getting played, but it's just like, all right, is everybody re-listening to the whole album? You know, going back to listen to that album.
I think it depends on who you are. I think if you actual fans of these people, I absolutely think people still go back and listen to them songs. Especially for somebody like SZA, she was on tour performing that song. So I'm know for a fact 9 times out of 10, most people when they on their way to a concert or leaving a concert, you playing the album and you getting so you can kind of sing along.
So that's my question to you is just, I mean, because you're more of a Future fan, but because, like I said, because you listen to a lot of music or you listen to a lot of different artists. So you saying, all right, it wasn't good for me to go back and listen to it again. So I'm really not paying it no mind because I got new music now.
Yeah, but I don't think everybody's not like me though. I don't think a lot of people take in that much music on a daily basis. I don't think a lot of people do that. So
because because like I said, for me personally, I've listened to that album, both of them, more than, you know what I'm saying, several times, and even recently I've listened to that album. So that's why I was just wondering is you know what I'm saying, like for everybody else, how is it?
I mean, I don't know. I can't, like I said, I can't speak for everybody else. I only can speak for what I'm looking at people going off of, and I ain't none of the rest of the songs on that album didn't chart or nothing. So I only can go off of me not seeing people use the songs like they normally would use the songs. I don't see people talking about it. Like I don't see a huge conversation besides that one song. It had conversations. Okay, when he dropped the second project, people was listening again to see if it was going to be any type of Drake disses in it. And then after you kind of didn't get that, it kind of just, all right, it came and it went. But I can't speak, like I said, I can't speak for everybody else because I looked at even when Chief Keef and Gunna dropped their projects, I seen people praising the Chief Keef John. I'm like, bro, this is trash. He made us almost wait, like almost that. It felt like almost 2 years.
He kept was that the one you waited for?
Yes, and it was garbage. So it was like, but I seen people who would like they like Chief Keef, like, oh, this the Chief Keef back, this, that, and the third. Like I didn't feel that way. I'm like, bro, compared to the songs that he pre-released before he at least released the whole project, that Tony Montana, Racks in the Stuffed in the Couch or whatever that song, like them songs, the rest of that album didn't compare to that. There was like 2 songs on that album that I actually was like, all right, it was cool, it was fire. It was the joint with him and G Herbo, and then I think the joint with him and Quavo, the joint with him and Tierra Whack was cool, but like that whole project, like it just was like, all right, this shit was all right. It wasn't even, matter of fact, to me, it wasn't better than the mixtape joint that he just put out the other week where it was him and was it Mike Will. So like I said, I don't necessarily know. I can't, it's hard to realistically tell people. I think everybody got a different ear, and I think that was the conversation that we was having last week when we was talking about the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar situation. It's kind of like what you like in music, how much of a fan are you of somebody? Because like I said, it may be some people who still feel like those Future projects was fire, but me personally, I don't. And I just felt like the response wouldn't have been so crazy for people to want to see him put out a new mixtape if everybody else didn't feel the same way I did. Of course, some people just like you kind of not want to, you don't want to voice your opinion because sometimes people just don't like arguing with people about the preference of music that they like. So is it, I guess, I mean, you kind of,
so that's why even them albums, I feel like that's more of a Metro showcase. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel that was more of a Metro project than it was a Future project to me.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's never the case for nobody else. That's never been. Future has done endless projects with Future. With Metro. He done projects with Zaytoven. With Strictly.
Future.
He just did a whole project with Metro Boomin. Did a whole project with 21 Savage. It sound like a 21 Savage project. It ain't sound like a Metro Boomin joke. So I'm not like, that's what I'm saying. Like you giving him a cop out to is just like, no, the music was just blah. It was cool. Like it was just basic as hell. Like this was some basic Future music. This didn't have no real stay power. And like I said, if it did, people would not have been so geeked up for him to drop a mixtape. And that's just like, I just don't think nobody would be that geek for you to come right back with and you literally just put out 2 projects. Like people were geek. Oh man, he about to drop a mixtape. Oh, mixtape Future back. Like people were geeking. And to me, if I'm on his management team, I'm on his promo team, I would tell y'all pay attention to that. I don't think that was just like, I don't think that's like by accident that people just jumped out there and was so geeked up over that. So I mean, like I said, we'll see. Like I said, shout out to Future. That song with him and T Grizzly was fire. Like I said, that Chief Keef project was like, it to me, it wasn't worth the pushback. Like all those kept pushing it back for like, I felt like he almost pushed it back for like 2 years, but I probably over that. It was at least for like a year and some change. For all of that pushing back, like, bro, it wasn't worth that. Like, nah, I don't. And don't get me wrong, I can see where he was trying to go. Like, he tried to like have like a skits in it, like this is such and such radio and this, that, and the third. But it was still just like, bro, this was like, all right, we waited this long for this.
What was his last project?
I mean, he just put out a joint with him and Mike Will, a couple, but I don't know. I mean, it's been years. Chief Keef ain't put out nothing. No, I can't say years because he put out the joint with the Army men on there. I'm tripping. Like, I'm about to say years. He definitely, I think that was, what year was that? Chief Keef, when he put out that joint with the Army men on the front of that joint. That was 2021. So I mean, that was like 3 years ago. Okay. So yeah, I mean, like I said, shout out to Chief Keef. What else? Let's get into. Oh yeah, bro. Matter of fact, I guess because we did talk about the Shaq diss. I apologize, I'm scrambling over my words because we did talk about the Shaq diss to Shannon Sharpe. I guess we can get some backstory on why he dissed Shannon Sharpe. So of course, over last week, the Joker won his third MVP. So on NBA TNT, they was giving him the award, and Shaq was like, "Hey, me and you cool, whatever case may be. We got some rapport. I mean, you know, me and your brother, I love y'all. I love you and your brothers, whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna be honest with you because I want to say it to your face because it's already on. I don't want you to hear it, and I didn't say it to you when I'm talking to you. I felt like you didn't deserve this MVP. SGA deserved it. And then the joke laughed it off a little bit. Cool, whatever. Everybody got opinions, no hard feelings, whatever the case may be.
Didn't he agree with him? I thought too.
Nah, hell no, he didn't agree with him.
No, I thought he. Okay.
No, hell no.
I thought they said he.
Nah, he didn't agree with him. So then, of course, on Nightcap, it was Gilbert Arenas, Ocho Cinco, and Shannon Sharpe, and then they was talking about it. And so don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of people felt like what Shaq did was distasteful. So a lot of people didn't agree with what Shaq did or how he was moving about it. So Shannon Sharpe basically kind of called him out and was basically saying, if Shaq would have been putting in the work ethic, he wouldn't have, because he basically was trying to say Shaq seems like he's a little bit jealous. He seemed like he's jealous when he speaks on people like Joel Embiid or like Joker, because maybe he felt like he didn't have the work ethic and he left a lot in the gym. He didn't put out his 110%. He didn't give it his all. And of course, that's, conversations that Phil Jackson put in his book, and in plenty of interviews, you heard Kobe even call Shaq out for those things, basically sitting here saying like Shaq didn't take playing basketball serious. He was just dominant. This was something like a gift from God. He never really actually put in the work. And a lot of people felt like if Shaq would have put in the work, Shaq would have been 100 times better basketball player. So Shannon Sharpe kind of, said that, and it would seem like that was it was just like hate and it was jealousy. So then Shaq got a whiff of that. Of course he did, because Shannon Sharpe has a huge voice, and he basically was like, dog, you can't sit here and call me out or call me jealous if you're not a top 10 player in your sport. And let's be clear, I like the way that Shannon Sharpe kind of like gracefully bowed out, and he was like, yeah, I never, said that I'm whatever the case may be with Shaq. I never said that I was better than Shaq or whatever the case may be, or even compared myself to Shaq. And then Shannon Sharpe even named the tight ends that he felt like was better than him. He named Gronkowski, he named Travis Kelce, what was it, Antonio Gates, and who it was, what's the other dude that played for the Chiefs before?
Tony Gonzalez.
So he named all them and said, yeah, I think all of them guys are better than me, whatever the case may be. So Shannon Sharpe tried to take the high road of it. But I think two things can be true. One, I think Shaq was just like, and that's one thing Shaq kind of do a lot, and we can kind of get into that maybe in a little bit, space it out a little bit. But Shaq is like one of those people, because he's super rich and everybody know he's super rich. That's the first thing he gonna go to, because then that's the first thing he kind of threw back in Shannon Sharpe face. Well, you say I'm lazy and I don't work hard, but my net worth is way more than yours, whatever the case may be. So that math ain't mathing.
But see, my thing, even with Shannon Sharpe, I think you kind of discredit even Shaq. Okay, let's say Shaq is not the most focused or whatever the case may be, but you brought up the whole conversation about him having one MVP. Mm-hmm. And then you saying, well, Joker got multiple, but he still had Finals MVP. He has 3 of them.
Yeah, he got 3 of them.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, when you said that, I feel like you did throw slight at him, like, well, you're not ready to top. But Shaq has how many rings, and he has how many Finals MVP, and you kind of like you threw that type of shade towards him. And I feel like why Shaq took it that way, because you saying I'm jealous because Joker got 3 MVPs. But then at the end of the day, it's just like, I feel like with the NBA and what they are messing up with, who are voting on these MVP votes. If Shaq don't even have an MVP voting for you know what I'm saying? He don't even have a vote in there. I feel like it's kind of messed up because he was a winner. He is a top 50 player and all that. But you telling me he don't have a vote in there? And that's why I kind of feel like it's just some things is like, I get it where Shaq took it to heart. He's like, all right, we trying to throw shots at me, but like, I am him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling him he should have won that championship.
Yeah, I do. Be realistically, I don't think Shaq was hating when he said that, because of course, I think everybody. If you said that. I feel like anybody, if you actually watch basketball, I feel like everybody and their mother felt like Shea should have got it, just because the dramatic from not making the playoffs at all last year, for them to be the number 1 seed in the West, it's hard for you to explain how the Joker got it again. So
yeah, and the simple fact is just when you look at a team like the OKC, it's just like, well, damn, you got Shea and you got Chet. Both of them hopefully could have been
one could have won Rookie of the Year, the other one could have won MVP.
The only thing you did get was Coach of the Year.
Yeah, but that's
like, damn, that don't even mean shit to us.
It don't mean nothing to them, and it doesn't. And realistically, I don't feel like the MVP award is it doesn't mean no. Let's be clear. I was gonna have a crazy take into these last 2 games with Denver and the way the Joker turned it up. So he kind of realistically, he'd have shot himself some bail where people kind of really can't drag it, and then Dallas and kind of got the chokehold on OKC. So it's kind of like it's kind of watering down the points that you could have made maybe a couple days ago before the last Denver game, because the Joker definitely was balling out his mind, especially last night. He played OD, but still. We talking about just off a regular season, I do feel like it takes away, because realistically, I still don't think nobody, I don't care how many awards the Joker got, I don't think nobody would take prime Joker over prime Shaq.
No, you're right.
So I do feel like I get what Shaq was defending, because even for Shea, though, he lost by 300 points. 300 votes. They literally, and I think that was the thing that pissed people off more, was like, though, he literally lost by 300 votes. I explain how did this make sense.
And then also, even with Shannon Sharpe, you still got to think about it. Shaq lost to Steve Nash, his year, probably one of his best years in that whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had a great year. And I think that year they won 60 games.
Yeah, but I think the crazy, what's name? Steve Nash and them won 60 games.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think, but that's what you rewarded him with, because he won 60 games. And I think he was like assist something, but Shaq was leading in the points. But I think only Steve Nash was leading in assists.
Yeah, I think so. I think realistically, the one thing, I guess, for just even when you having these sports debates now, and you kind of can see, because you're living in real time, you kind of got to even almost train your brain to be like, we're not going to always be able to throw stats and awards and to really be able to judge players.
Yeah, and that's what my only thing is, just like when you throw that, and then I get it, the Wilk and Bill Russell comps, like if you setting that as a standard, they have all the hardware. And that's why even when you say, well, Shaq, he might not even be I'm like, he is top. You can't, between 1 and 2, he is top 3. If he
are you talking about big man?
Yeah, for the big man. So it's like,
but I do think Shaq trying to put a little bit gas. I don't necessarily know if Shaq is a top 10 player of all time.
No, he's not. He's not a top 10 player of all time, because we talking about all players. No, I won't put him in the top 10. Top 15, maybe. Top 10.
And that's crazy.
But that's the thing. You saying top, he might be 11. He might not be 10. You know what I'm saying? He might be 11 or 12. I don't, like, that's no discredit.
So I think so I guess let's, and ladies, I promise we'll get to something else in the critic, but I just had to kind of get this out of the way because we were talking about the diss song. But I guess that's my thing, where I would sit here and ask, and it is realistically for Shaq, do you get so offended from what Shannon Sharpe said? Because deep down inside, you do feel like
some of it's true.
Some of it's true. Yeah, you did probably leave a lot on the floor. And I'm sure now that you look at the way the game was played, you probably think, or even get to see how long LeBron is playing, and you probably think like, damn, if I did kind of
and I
take my body a little bit more serious, take my dad a lot more serious, could I have eliminated these conversations? Because I'm sure for most of them, you watching it like, damn, I can easily get erased out of the history books if stuff like this keep going on.
But and I think that's just why what keeps a lot of arguments going on. Because even when we sit here, people say about the whole GOAT talk. How do y'all keep putting LeBron and Jordan? Would Kobe leave Kobe out of it? But it's just like, what do you see and what are you still seeing? We saw Jordan do X mile, for his time. Then you see LeBron, he's still going on. And if, like I said, Kobe just went out, or you went out on an injury, you didn't keep going. If you could, you probably would, because of your work effort. And like you said, with Shaq, you didn't put in that work effort. And that's a lot of your downfall, is just you wanted to party, you wanted to do all this. And I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, everybody say that. If you could do it all over, you would change a lot of things. You wouldn't do the exact same thing.
Of course, for sure.
When you was doing it.
And I think realistically, I guess the last, I think to kind of put a button in the whole conversation, I do think realistically, Shaq, one, like you said, regrets probably not putting in a lot of that work. And then even with the Kobe conversation, it's just like, it's a lot of years that Kobe wasn't the best player in the NBA. A lot. And you got to think about it, even just if you just talking about the first couple of years, the difference between LeBron and Jordan and Kobe was LeBron and Jordan kind of like, as soon as they got in the league, jumped out there, rookie, you know what I'm saying? Like they was running away, throwing up crazy numbers and kind of like dragging their team, where Kobe had, he was coming off the bench for like at least a year and some change behind Eddie Jones. So it's like I get it for most people. Some people may be too young. The super Kobe fans 9 times out of 10 are too young, and you kind of want to forget about the years he was coming off the bench for Eddie Jones. So it's kind of like, I get it, and that's why people don't. And people just kind of realistically, I keep telling y'all this over and over, people have a lot of respect for the dead when it comes to Kobe Bryant. And that's why people kind of just like, all right, we hear y'all, but we gonna keep.
But then I think that's also another thing. We didn't hear too many stories about Kobe, but now that you are hearing stories about Kobe, and it's like, damn. That is a kind of, and I get it, like why a lot of people say they want the Mamba mentality because they want that whole discipline. Because I remember it was one story, I forgot who it was. They were saying, yeah, it was one night we went out. I think I dropped some such and such. Kobe, he was like, oh, I ain't partying, but your tab is on me. Because saying you played off whatever, but he was the type of person that I'd rather go get my shots up or look at film work. And that's just the type of discipline. So I think that's why a lot of people kind of say, oh, I got that Mamba mentality because I want to be locked in. But like you say, even with Shaq, he'd rather party and, have those wild nights and stuff like that. Everybody to each his own, for real.
Yeah, and Shaq just still got a lot of him, and I guess, like I said, we'll talk about it in a few. He has just a lot of character flaws, and I told y'all that my biggest gripe with Shaq was him messing up that Orlando Magic team, because it was literally like you just quit on them because Penny Hardaway would start to become the bigger star. And I'm not gonna lie to you,
because y'all got egos. Everybody got egos.
But that's my point. So but that still talks about your character, who you are as a person, and that still comes a knock in your career, because you might have never even had to go to LA, and you could have literally you could have built a legacy in Orlando, and you would have been the man. And of course they retired your jersey and stuff now, but it would have been a whole different ball game. Like you could have put, and I think even when I was telling you about that, even when I'm looking at LeBron, like he at the Cavs game right now, the Cavs versus Celtics game, and just the standing ovation he got, how geeked the people was right behind him. Like, bro, they like the Lakers fans in Los Angeles are never going to treat LeBron James the way people in Cleveland are going to treat LeBron James. I don't even think the people in Miami, he won't never even get treated the same way in Miami as he will in LA.
I think you will.
No, you missing what I'm saying. I'm talking about.
No, you saying who will get the most? Who you saying get?
I'm saying Miami fans will give him more love than Lakers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people still holding on to that whole Laker legacy.
Yeah, but because you still want to hold on to Kobe Bryant, so that's my point.
No, but not even necessarily Kobe Bryant. I feel like even with Shaq, Kareem,
I don't feel like Lakers fans respect Shaq as much as they do Kobe.
No, I still think he still owns that. And I feel like, no, Kobe, yes, over Shaq. If you're saying if both of them at the same time, Kobe's going to get more of a standing ovation than Shaq. But I feel like Shaq is still a top Laker. Like he's in that. So we say if their top 5 is let's say Kobe, Shaq, Magic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
where the hell you going to put Kareem at?
I mean, and Kareem, that's what I'm saying. Those are like the top 5, like all time Lakers. And then it's LeBron. I don't think LeBron got more love over.
Yeah, over none of them. No, for sure. Of course not. Of course
that's
not.
That's what I'm
of course not, for sure. Like I said, ladies, we can get into something else real quick. I just had to get that off my chest real fast. I apologize. Let that load up. Why does Joe keep doing that? What the hell is this Joe doing? Keep blacking out. Like us.
The screen's still on.
No, like the screen on, but it's just, I don't know why I keep, like, it's just not.